This is The Wheel Weaves, a Wheel of Time podcast with no spoilers. Hey everyone, I'm your host Dani, and I'm the first-time reader going through this series chapter by chapter. As always, there's no spoilers past the chapter we're covering, and that means it's totally safe for first-time readers. I'm joined by my co-host Brett, who's a long-time fan, and he's guiding me on this journey. We'd like to acknowledge and thank our executive producers, Brandy and Kirkwood, Sean McGuire, Yanis, Rikky, Morrisette, Lorenzo, Eddie Costello, LightBlindedFool, and the Amyrlin seat. And before we get into things today, we just want to thank and welcome Laurel Armster and Raheen to the Wheel Weaves Patreon team. We really appreciate your generous contributions and love having your support. In this episode, we're talking about Chapter 9 of A Crown of Swords.
Yeah, so Chapter 9 is A Pair of Silverpike. And I gotta say, some people probably say that this is their most favorite chapter in the entire book.
I don't believe you.
No, not at all?
No.
I thought I could pull it off at least a little bit. No?
Nope.
Okay. Because I personally don't know anybody who thinks that, but maybe they're out there.
No.
But I mean, some stuff happens. Mm-hmm. Sort of.
I care for the ending.
Okay.
I don't dislike it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like a segue chapter into something more interesting, hopefully.
All right. I'm a little annoyed. I thought you breaking up these chapters, I thought like this one on its own would have something interesting in it.
Yeah, it was more so like page numbers so that we can tackle the big one, chapter 12, which is like 40 pages. So this was a necessity, and we're here for it, so we're going to do this.
A couple things do happen. It's recap central over here still.
It is.
Yeah.
And I mean, I keep saying that we're like at the beginning of this book still, but we're like over 250 pages in now, so like, I mean, pretty close.
Yeah, but because we've just recently switched perspective to Egwene, now we need a recap of everything that's happening here.
Yes.
Right? So,
yeah,
that's where we're at.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so fun fact has to be about the central topic of this chapter, which is blackmail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I had to kind of figure out a little bit of history of blackmail because first off...
unsuccessful blackmail?
A little bit, right? But why is it called blackmail? That was a big question for me. Ooh. So I'd do a little bit of digging. Not really, just like search Wikipedia. But, you know, I got the facts for you. So, apparently, blackmail, the definition has evolved over time because now blackmail refers to the act of demanding a person pay money or do something in order to avoid having damaging information about them exposed. But the historical roots are linked to chieftains in the border regions between England and Scotland in the 16th and 17th century. So during that time, chieftains would order landholders to pay them in order to avoid being pillaged and raided.
Okay.
So the male part meant tribute or rent, essentially, and the color was a play on the different ways to pay, sort of. So usually it would be paid in goods or labor, which was referring to the black part, so black rent, as opposed to white rent, which would refer to silver coins. So white rent would be money, black rent would be like labor or goods.
Okay.
And then in some areas, the rent would be paid in produce, so you might be able to guess this one. Green rent.
Green, okay.
You figured it out. Okay, color-coded system. It's good.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that to get thrown on me.
No.
Okay.
I know.
I was just taking a sip of wine.
There you go, blackmail. And alternatively, it might be derived from Scottish Gaelic words blaic, which I might not be pronouncing correctly.
Probably definitely not.
But that means to protect, and mal means payment, so it's protection payment, which is what it was.
Protection payment. I like that. Okay.
Yeah. Very mobster-esque, but, you know, that's kind of how it goes.
Yeah, and I also do think that you need to start disclosing a little more that all of these may or may not be completely accurate.
I'm pretty sure they're very factually accurate. It's from Wikipedia.
Yeah.
Mostly.
But yeah, okay, good fact.
Yeah, okay, so let's get to these pair of Silverpike.
Oh my goodness, okay. Right. Well, last time we were here, Rand was in Camelin doing some shifty secret business.
Yeah, maybe enacting a war plan.
Yeah, sounds that way, and we'll see. Maybe in half a book if we ever get there.
Yeah, possibly.
We'll see.
There's a chance.
All right, and then we also flipped over to Egwene, who found out Moghedien was gone.
Yeah, and we got the flashback scene.
Yeah.
From the end of Lord of
Epilogue.
Chaos.
Yes, that's correct. So now we're going to enter here, Chapter 9, A Pair of Silverpike, and we get the chapter symbol, the Flame of Tar Valon.
Yes, very Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so Egwene perspective. She is sitting in her tent in a real chair.
Oh, you caught that. Okay, not a foldy chair
this time.
Yeah.
And she's waiting for Swan and Lyanna to show up. First, Swan shows up. She's not happy. Swan is like, hey, why did you leave? You had Sheriam.
Yeah, and we had her to, like, I don't know, like, get leverage or whatever. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, because, recap, they were just in the tent with Sheriam, and Egwene was getting Sheriam to share a bunch of information that she didn't want to share.
Yeah, about the ferrets.
Ah, yes.
Right? Because originally the 6 main Aes Sedai, so that was Sheriam, Carlinia, Anaya, Beonin, Morven, and Myrelle, were like the 6 main sisters in charge.
Sure they were.
Before they, chose the hall.
Uh-huh.
So those are the ones who sent the ferrets to go to the tower.
Right. Not real ferrets.
Not real ferrets. Sister ferrets.
To go spread the word.
Yeah, the good word of the Saladar sisters.
Defaming those red sisters.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Now, Lyanna shows up and she's like, what the heck am I doing here? This is a big risk. We don't want anyone to see Swan and I here together.
Yeah, because that's the big recap on Swan and Lyanna don't actually hit each other.
Right.
But they're pretending.
But everyone thinks they do.
A lot of recap.
Yeah. Egwene breaks the news that Moghedien has escaped. And a man who can channel is the one who removed the collar. And Egwene is pretty sure that it is a Forsaken.
Yes. Okay. So, I did a little bit more digging because I'm trying to convince you that there's a rational reason why Egwene knows this.
Yep.
I got one more thing for you.
I'll hear it.
Okay. And I haven't found like a connecting piece, but just like, here it is.
I'll hear you out.
So in Fires of Heaven, chapter 32, a short spear, right? That was right after Rand and Aviendha did it in the igloo.
Yeah, and you said hopefully the spear wasn't too short.
That was pretty funny.
That was a good joke.
Okay.
I remember it.
So they get attacked by the Shanshan, and then Rand already knows some stuff about the Damani since he was in Falma during the Egwene capture, and he recognizes this Damani and the Soldam there. And then Aviendha shields the Damani and the Soldam, and Rand holds everybody with air, but he doesn't want to leave the Damani behind because he knows they're probably prisoners. Mm-hmm. Okay? So he wants to give them a chance to escape. So Rand puts a hand on the collar of one of them, and he gets the giant jolt in his arm, and it numbs his arm, and then the Damani, like, flails around, and then that's why Rand gets Aviendha to try to remove the collar, but she fails. But she tells Rand that he nearly killed the Damani and the Soldam and maybe himself when he tried to remove the collar. So, Rand and Aviendha also know that a man touching the collar, is a thing.
Okay.
And Aviendha was technically in Saladar, and Egwene and Rand have spent time together. So it's like, there's more people who know about this stuff. It's possible.
Well, it's likely that Egwene has that information.
Yeah.
Although she didn't have anything to do with creating this.
No, but Elaine did, and, there's Aviendha and Elaine.
Elaine did study the actual one.
So I didn't...
There are pieces... That's a better argument than anything you've said so far.
There's lots of pieces, and there's reason why Egwene could definitely know. I haven't found an exact, like, Egwene talking to Aviendha about this or something.
Yeah, no.
If it's out there, I hope someone sends it to me. I don't know if it's out there, though.
Because if anything, I think she would just be like, ouch.
Yeah, right?
What was that?
This is shocking.
Whoa, I can't feel Moghedien anymore.
Yeah.
And then, like, maybe then she connects it that it was released.
Yeah.
But unless Elaine specifically knew and told Egwene.
So maybe there is, like, a conversation that I've missed, so maybe I can dig it up. Maybe someone else can send it to us. I don't know, but...
It just seems
it's
like
just
a
another connected
tiny
piece.
Sliver of a hole.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm over it. It actually doesn't... I don't care.
I am not over it. I'm still searching.
Clearly.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going to accept it at this point. It doesn't really matter.
Well, that's a win in my books, too.
Is
it?
I mean, like, it's something I'll never drop forever and ever.
Oh,
but
okay.
I'm
well,
moving on for now.
Okay. I mean, we only got one chapter to talk about here, so...
That's true.
Okay.
Quite a bit happens, though.
Yeah.
So, we also get that Egwene is pretty sure that the collar is gone as well. They took the collar with them because she couldn't find it in Moghedien's tent.
Yeah.
So, Swan and Lyanna both take this news pretty bad. They need a second to recover.
Yes.
And while that's happening, Egwene notices that Swan is wearing a pretty dress.
Yeah, we get a lot of description of clothes.
Speculates for about a full page.
And also on Lyanna's clothes.
Why they're wearing such pretty dresses.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
It's to woo men, Egwene.
Possibly.
It's because of Gareth Bryn, Egwene.
It's really funny because that comes back in this chapter where Egwene has no idea what's happening with that.
No clue. She is so stupid.
I mean, she's 18 and like barely...
Naive, innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, she's not, the best person to ask for advice on relationships.
Definitely not.
Gawain, come on.
Oh, it's
what is
all
this?
terrible.
Okay.
I know. Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah. So now Lyanna starts saying how they should have turned Moghedien over the day she was captured because nothing is worth having her free in the world again.
Yeah, okay.
Which is stating the obvious.
But I mean, they got a lot of really good information.
They did. But now she's back in the world again.
True. Yeah, okay.
And probably, definitely, after these women.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Yes. They should be very worried and suspicious all the time.
Yeah, but like traveling is really cool. It's like a really cool thing.
Traveling is cool. Egwene would have got there on her own.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Maybe. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So Swan says we should have had her watch, and Egwene makes the point and says, yeah, by who though?
Yeah, we got to bring back some like other characters in this chapter too.
And I was gonna say, cue recap about all the other Aes Sedai in the camp right now.
We do, but we kind of get a sort of mishmash of Egwene's loyal followers, and I use loyal very loosely.
Yeah, Phaolane,
her team,
and Theodrin.
Yeah,
because she she made them Aes Sedai, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So she kind of has some allegiances. Like, I don't even know what we want to call them.
And that's about it. And they're, not even full Aes Sedai in the eyes of the other Aes Sedai.
Yeah, and they don't really know about Swan and Lyanna, so they can't really, connect pieces there.
Yeah, and she's like, what was I going to say? Please stand guard outside my maid's tent?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. Yeah, and she even goes through, Brigida, but it's like, she's gone now, too, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Because she didn't go missing, so, no. I mean, when they're here...
Plus, Egwene reiterates that it was probably one of the Forsaken who freed her.
Yeah.
So anyone who was watching Moghedien couldn't have stopped a Forsaken anyways.
Yeah, you'd probably just have, bodies.
Yeah.
If that.
Yeah.
Because you can just, dissolve people, I guess, or something.
Yeah.
Disappear them.
Yeah. I don't know what Forsaken do, so... Well, I know what some do.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Egwene tells them to ask around to see if anyone saw anything. It must have been a man. And then at this point, Swan is super sassy. Doesn't see the point in any of this. We can't go chasing after them. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But Egwene doubles down. She wants to find out anything she can. And even if it's just to make this less of a spooky mystery, and maybe we get a description of one of the Forsaken.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of see where Swan's coming from, too, because in the scheme of things, what could they really find out? If this was really a Forsaken plot to break out another Forsaken, we know what happened.
Yes.
We know that it's Halima.
Yes.
Right? So it's a woman.
Yes.
Who freed her.
Yes.
So even if they're looking for a man, it's not going to make sense.
Nope.
But hypothetically, if it was a male Forsaken, they could still do disguises.
Yep.
We know that there's invisibility type weaves.
Yes, we do.
There's all sorts of things that you could do to hide who you really are.
Yeah. Several times in this little section, we get that Egwene isn't really thinking very clearly. She's super stressed out. She's got lots on her mind.
Yeah.
And so this is the
kind of the
she
need
comes up with.
Yeah, the need to do something rather than nothing. And I kind of get that too, but Swan's got a point.
Yeah. And Egwene's like, "Hey Swan, don't talk to me like that. I'm the Amyrlin Sea." And so Swan apologizes.
Yeah. Okay. Growth. It seems like a real apology too.
Yeah.
Even from Egwene's point of view.
And then later Swan's like, "That was good that you did that.
Yes.
You should have been harder on me.
I shouldn't have done that. You should really hold people accountable for talking to you in bad ways, because Egwene doesn't really have a firm control.
No.
We really get that this chapter, that her control is very loosey-goosey right now.
I think that, yeah. Yeah.
It's not good.
No, it's not. We'll get there, though.
Okay.
Yeah. But right now, Swan has an idea and makes a recommendation.
Yes. Yeah.
To actually use Phaolane and Theodrin to carry out this kind of useless investigation, because they'll be less suspicious.
Right, because everyone already knows that Phaolane and Theodrin are aligned with Egwene.
Yeah. And they're like, ha, it'll look like I was sent to carry your message to them, and I will act like I am upset about it.
Yeah. Now, question for you, because on the topic of sharing information, at this point, Egwene thinks how she now that Moghedien is free, she can pass on the secrets of how to weave disguises with the power.
Yeah, I wish that she wouldn't.
And mask the ability to channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's like she shares all these things, which, I mean, okay, it's a good thing to share information.
I don't think she shares it with anyone yet.
No, but she thinks to herself, like, internally, okay, now that's something that I can do.
Yeah.
And then kind of, like, take some credit for that for myself, I guess, too,
and here's the thing, like, from the beginning, I think that there's a huge problem. Obviously, there's a lot of problems within the Aes Sedai organization. One of them is everybody hoards their own information and doesn't share it with anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, we got the sort of all their little secret talents, and they don't share them with anybody, and
like,
whatever.
Totally, some people already know these things.
Right.
But if they all shared information, they'd all know all these things probably already.
And if from the beginning, that was the culture, is when we learn things, we share it with each other so we can all learn it and we can all grow and we can all be stronger and better.
Yeah.
That should be, but no, that's not the way it is. And so the issue I have from the beginning with Elaine and Nynaeve, first of all, sharing all of this new information with these people who would never share anything with them.
Yeah.
Number one, or with anyone else. Because the second they know it, like, they're not sharing it.
Yeah.
Do you think that all these women who learned how to travel are going to go off and share it with other Aes Sedai they find?
No, absolutely not.
Never. And so here's the thing. Now, Egwene is like, oh, we have all this other information. We should share it. And hypothetically, you should share it. But really, should you, Egwene, share this very secretive and useful
and like specific purpose for like
information with people who hate you and don't trust you and you don't trust them? No!
Well, it's one of those...
No, you shouldn't!
You have a great point, because you have like the two systems of like don't share information and share information, and you can't just like put the share information mindset on top of the don't share and it's gonna magically fix all the problems.
No, it's like, thanks for the information.
Yeah. Now, see ya later.
Now see ya.
So
the end.
And that see ya could be all sorts of things, like, up to and including, Egwene's gonna get murdered for like knowing too much or telling the wrong thing to wrong people. So it's
I know. It's like, it's the whole like gossip mentality.
Right? Yeah.
It's like, you share your gossip with me and then I'm never gonna tell you anything.
Yeah.
Right? And then I'm gonna go share what you told me with like other people who you don't trust. Like, it's so stupid.
It's not great.
Especially with this. The hiding your ability to channel and the disguising yourself.
Yeah, like so incredibly useful.
And powerful.
Yeah.
She's got to be careful with this one.
It doesn't sound like she's going to be careful with this one.
No.
Because
I think that this is something that could easily be used against her.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
The traveling and the dream world stuff, like, there are some things that were shared that maybe couldn't be easily, like, used against them.
Yeah, like, even hypothetically, like, the traveling can't as easily be used against her, but like
to plot against her
or
sneak around in any kind of way, because it's pretty obvious when that happens and everybody feels the weaves and whatever.
For sure, yeah.
But if you teach other Aes Sedai how to shield their weaves, they're already sneaky Aes Sedai.
They're gonna do it, like, to the max immediately.
To you!
Yeah. Yeah.
Like...
Well, it's the same thing. As soon as Nynaeve showed the like better way to heal, immediately they're already like, "How do we do this to make it even better than what she just showed?" So
yeah, we don't believe that she.
Yeah. So it's like, are people outpacing Nynaeve now?
No, probably not.
So, but I mean, that's the question, right? So
yeah. Okay.
Rant over. Don't share it, Egwene.
Don't.
Not now, at least.
Not now. Yeah. No way. So Lyanna leaves, and Siuan hangs back for a minute to tell Egwene that she's the Amyrlin Seat and no one should be rude or disrespectful to her. That's that whole thing. It's like, you were too lenient on me for being sassy.
Yeah.
And then Egwene changes the subject to Gareth Bryn and asks if Siuan wants Egwene to intervene.
Yes, like in the situation that's going on.
Because I think you've worked off your debt.
Yes. Yeah.
And Siuan's like, No. Why would I want that?
She's doing a thing here, Egwene.
I'm doing my duty.
I'm working on a thing.
Yes.
It's going rather okay, maybe.
And then Egwene has a really weird take on Siuan and Bryn's relationship. Like, she just does not get it. She cannot understand it at all.
Yeah. It's like, why would she still want to be around Gareth Bryn all the time?
Why does she want to wash his small clothes with her bare hands.
Yeah, yeah.
Disgusting.
Well, and there's the whole thing where Swan can channel, so she hypothetically could use the power to
but she's
channel.
not, because she's working off
the debt. And yeah, is she, has she paid off the debt? Maybe. But, there's a relationship forming here, so maybe Swan is kind of using that as inroads for the relationship itself.
Yeah, clearly.
Yeah.
There's clearly something.
Yeah.
All right. So Swan leaves, and Egwene wants to pace around, but her tent isn't big enough for that. And so she leaves.
Yeah, time to go for a walk in the camp, in kind of the dark.
Yeah. So she avoids the area near Moghedien's tent because she doesn't want to draw attention to it. But there's still some people out and about who kind of give her curtsies as she passes. She also passes by an open area that's roped off.
Yes.
And she stands and watches, and we get a little bit of like a gateway situation.
Yeah, this is a cool world building situation here. So basically what's happening is they've come up with a system to travel safely within the camp, which is good because you don't want to cut people in half with gateways.
No, that would be bad.
People would be upset to be cut in half.
For sure.
Okay, so they rope off a system, and they're like, this is where you travel, and we've got that there's sisters who are returning with messages from Saladar, because pigeons have to fly back to Saladar.
Because
that's how pigeons work, from what I know.
Right.
Is you take them from, their home, you bring them away, and they can fly back home.
And they come back home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's the maximum amount I know of pigeons.
Right.
And that system.
I got it.
So
let me tell you just for a second what I thought was happening here.
Okay.
I thought Egwene was leaving.
Oh.
Via gateway.
She's like, fuck this.
I gotta go. I thought she was gonna go tell, Elaine and Nynaeve. Because she knows Elaine and Nynaeve are, at the palace in Abu Dar.
Yeah.
And I thought that she wandered out, far away.
Yeah.
And was opening a gateway.
Gotcha. Okay.
And then I was like, wait a minute. What's going on? And I had to, I was like, yes, we're going.
It's just like your mind wanders and looks for action. It's like, yeah, go. Yeah. Be free, Egwene.
It's always done that.
Yeah.
I always am thinking, like, what's the next thing that's going to happen?
The boobs were out. Okay, I like this.
Yeah, I know.
Not out.
That was
okay,
different.
shoot.
That was different.
It was the same thing.
That was different. Oh, man. But yeah, so it's not that.
Yeah, it's not that. She's just watching sisters, people coming back.
People coming back.
From Saladar, where they retrieve messages. Because
at one point, she thinks that the people around are used to gateways opening and closing all the time. Yeah. And so I thought, that's kind of weird that she's doing this in sight of people. But she's doing it, so cool.
Yeah.
But no.
Not that. No, definitely not. Okay.
And I'm also surprised that there are some Aes Sedai who are strong enough to actually create a whole gateway.
Yeah.
I thought no one could.
Yeah, I know you thought that. I'm not sure why. Because we got introduced to it, and it's like, some people can do it, and a bunch are
others
2
can't
week,
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought most couldn't really.
But you don't need everybody. You need some. And then it's like,
Yeah, okay. All right. And we get also another whole recap on the eyes and ears of the Aes Sedai.
Yeah,
the whole thing.
But that's okay. We don't need to cover all that.
No. And so these people from the gateway are filing out and walking past Egwene, who's clearly standing there. Yeah. And they all know she's standing there.
Yes. She still has her stole on every...
Yeah, the warders bow.
Yeah.
Even the servants bow, show her respect.
Yeah, the warders aren't playing politics because they're just warders. Whatever sisters want to do.
They're like, whatever, you're the Amyrlin seat, I don't care. Yeah.
And servants are servants, so obviously they're going to do that.
Yeah, but Egwene notes that not even one Aes Sedai heading from the gateway area even glances towards her.
Yeah, because if they don't make eye contact, they don't have to acknowledge her existence.
Yes.
So they don't have to pay her any respects.
Yeah.
Smart.
Not great.
Yeah.
Not good.
So, Egwene thinks...
Fuck him.
Yeah, and it's like,
does she? I don't know what she thinks.
No. Because she's kind of thinking did they even see me here?
Yeah.
Yeah, they saw you, Egwene.
Yeah, okay. Well, we also learned that Egwene was able to learn how to skim.
Yeah.
From Moghedien.
So
we get the whole traveling and skimming and that whole thing.
This is filling in the gap as to why a traveling army can make any sort of gateway, because you have to know your location really well to travel, but you need to know your destination to skim. So they know their destination of Saladar, so they can technically skim from anywhere to Saladar and then travel back from Saladar to the camp.
Right.
It's just like filling in the closing the loophole on like what is happening here.
And we get that literally nobody has heard of skimming before.
Yeah, so she's credited with like literally inventing this because that was lost completely by the Aes Sedai.
Yes. So she gets that credit, but she gets no bows.
No, nothing.
She can't get no respect.
Can't get no respect. This is why you don't share information and knowledge. You hoard it for yourself, right?
Well,
that's what we learned?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. So Egwene thinks back to an event that happened a couple of days ago. Sheriam showed her a letter the Hall received the day they left Saladar and waited a long time to pass this message along.
Yes.
So when did they leave? How long ago do we think?
A couple weeks, it looks like.
At least, yeah.
I didn't do an exact time frame, but it's like it's been long enough.
Oh, too long.
So,
and Sheriam repeatedly warned Egwene to keep this secret.
Yeah, this old letter.
Old letter.
And we got to talk about the flaw in Egwene's thinking on a bunch of stuff.
Oh my god, there's a flaw in everybody's thinking about everything. Like, number one, Sheriam, you don't have to tell Egwene to do anything here. You have to keep this message secret.
Yeah, and also, like, from who?
Yeah.
Who are we hiding this from? Like, she's not going to tell, like, her random servants and maids about a letter?
Yeah.
About the embassy that you guys sent?
About
like,
Rand al'Thor? Like,
yeah.
Of course. God.
Okay.
Anyway, so the letter is from Marana.
Yeah, the previous leader of the embassy.
Yeah, just trust her to do her job.
I know, right? Oh my goodness,
so
much
she
good
can't
stuff.
actually do her job.
No, she can't.
Only because other Aes Sedai came in and stole her job from her.
Yeah, and they didn't give her the respect that she was due.
No.
That was like one of the problems with that whole... I mean, let's blame it on that.
All right. So the letter says, the embassy settled at the inn.
Yep.
They met with the wool merchant.
Super secret coding.
A good one.
In this. Like, holy smokes. If I intercepted this letter...
I would have no idea.
No idea what's happening here. Who's the wool merchant?
Oh my god.
He was Rand.
Courteous. That's what would throw me off. I'm like, this can't be Rand. He was courteous to Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
And possibly a bit afraid of them.
Yeesh, okay.
Which is good.
Yeah.
They also mention the rumors about men here, including the fellow from Saldea.
Wink, wink.
Is true.
Yeah, that's Mazrim Taim.
That's right.
The Black Tower. If anyone, like, completely missed it.
Right.
And the following explanation after the letter.
Yeah. They're going to avoid them.
That's good.
They also mention that Varen and Alana are there with a bunch of women from the same area as the wool merchant.
Right? Okay, 2 rivers.
Yeah. They'll try to send them to Saladar for training. Then it says Alana has formed an attachment to the wool merchant, which may be useful, but also troubling.
Yeah, so understatement of the century there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, for this coded message, we're using, like, real Aes Sedai names, number one.
Yeah,
like, how coded are we really being here?
Not very.
Like, if anybody knows anything, they know that there are Aes Sedai in Caemlyn meeting with Rand.
Yeah. No, it's not really. It's like half-coded.
And then we know all of their names.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Plus, Saladar
yeah.
is, yeah.
It's not great.
No.
But, like, Saladar's not, like, a secret location anymore, and... I mean, there's a lot of problems with this, and it's a lot of outdated information.
Right.
And the fact that, obviously, Sheriam didn't give it to Egwene until now, like, weeks after. We know what's happened with this embassy.
Oh, yeah.
And Egwene knows some of the information. Like, she knows that Marana and the crew left to go to Cairhien, but she doesn't think there's any other letters or correspondence.
Right.
But it's like, Sheriam kept this letter from you...
And you think there's
weeks,
nothing
and you
else?
think there's no more word or information?
Yeah.
And, like, there might not be any letters, but, like, you're just automatically assuming that, like...
Maybe she's not automatically assuming. Maybe when she got this letter, she, like, straight out asked Sheriam, who can't lie.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, possibly.
Maybe. Because Egwene does seem sure there's been no other letters from Marion. What's her name?
Marana, yeah. I was going to say, maybe it was like that. It's like, did you get any more letters from Marana?
Yeah.
And then Sheriam could say no.
Because now they're from Karuna.
Exactly.
Or whatever, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
So, I mean, we're, possibly.
Yeah,
so.
I get it.
Okay.
It's all bad. We get a description of these coded phrases in the letter.
Yeah, RJ, spelled it out. It's
in case we didn't understand. Yeah. This is Rand.
But
Egwene thinks there's no way he'd be courteous. Yeah. And there's no way he's afraid of them.
Yeah.
But a scared man is also a dangerous man.
So, if he is afraid, then that's not great. That's not a good thing.
Because then he's backed into a corner and he's crazy.
Yeah, so she also doesn't understand what the attachment Alana formed means.
She sure hopes that he didn't sleep with her.
Yeah.
I hope she didn't make her way into his bed.
Yeah, wiggle her
She
way.
would punch him in the nose if he did that.
Elaine would, right?
I thought Egwene said that she would.
Oh, I thought...
She would, slap Rand in the face.
No, I think that she was talking about Elaine. Elaine wouldn't be happy to find out that
I
Alana
don't know.
did that,
okay,
so. Yeah. Yeah, Elaine would break Alana's neck if that was so.
Oh, neck.
Yeah.
It was break her nose.
Break her neck. Okay.
I wrote down break her nose.
Jeez.
I think that's funnier.
It is.
I'm gonna punch you in the nose.
But yeah, so she has no idea, but here's the question, because we got the description of the letter because Sheriam spelled it out for Egwene, but when they came to the attachment, did Sheriam say oh, I don't know, we haven't figured out exactly what that means, but do the other sisters, do you think they know that Alana bonded Rand?
Yeah.
That's what the phrasing would be?
That. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that there's probably some Aes Sedai language where the bond could also technically be referred to as the attachment or something like that.
Or you've been in the business long enough to know that's what she's talking about, the problematic thing that you did.
Clearly.
Yeah.
And obviously before they left, they probably talked about this being kind of an option.
Oh, for sure. It's hey, should we maybe do that?
Alana already did it.
Yeah. It's it's all good, problematic but useful, so.
But we'll see.
So they didn't, if they do in fact know,
but it's troubling because she can't bend Rand to her will.
Also, yeah,
that's
exactly.
Probably the troubling part for them.
That's very possible, yeah. So if they do know, then they specifically did not share that with
Because in my mind, the troubling part is, the against
his will. Yeah, I mean,
that's for me the troubling part, but for them, the troubling part is she can't force him to do things.
And we saw that from the other Aes Sedai who were mad at her because she didn't try and bend to their will.
I did try.
It didn't work.
You pull an oak tree up from its roots or something. What did she say? Something like that.
It's something like that. Yeah.
Okay, so Egwene thinks that at the very least Morana could send more word.
Yeah. We need more information.
Yeah, she wants to know that the embassy was going to Cairhien.
It sounds like she knows this from the wise ones.
Right.
Not from...
Oh, the wise ones. Okay.
Yeah, because there's no more correspondence, and that letter didn't say anything about the embassy going to Cairhien.
Which technically was the plan.
It's part of the plan. Yeah.
Because their original plan was to lead Rand away from Caemlyn so Elaine could have the throne.
Yeah, so that's why Egwene thinks, hey, why haven't they sent another letter saying...
Why hasn't anyone just, had an open conversation with Rand about what he wants for the throne?
Yeah.
Because you guys have a common freaking goal,
Well, to be fair, Rand is trying, because he was even telling the Caemlyn nobles, I don't want to be here anymore. Yeah, and they're we don't want you here. Yeah. He's I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
We have the same
But
goal.
the wise ones are barely giving Egwene any information anymore at all.
Yeah, she's Aes Sedai, so I get that.
And Sheriam insists that no news is good news at this point.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Sheriam?
Okay.
Really?
It's going really well for that embassy.
It's going better for the Caemlyn embassy than the Cairhien embassy.
Okay. You know what? That's a fair point.
Yeah.
You're not wrong about that.
Comparing the
goodness.
betterness of the situation.
Yeah. Okay. Technically correct.
Okay. Now, the wise ones also told Egwene that the Tower Aes Sedai had left the city and were heading back to Tarvalin.
Yeah, so that's time frame for what...
Yeah, Egwene's confused about what everything's happening.
Yeah.
So Egwene says out loud, I have to go to him. That's all there is to it.
She's got to go meet with Rand.
And I agree. I really wanted her to go. Until a couple paragraphs from now.
Sure.
I really didn't see any reason for her not to go, pop into Caemlyn or Cairhien or wherever.
Yeah, kind of a yo, what's up? Yeah.
She could, at the very least, in my mind, at this point anyway, she could do some searching in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah.
That's her favorite thing to freaking do, is go find information and go find some things out in Tel'aran'rhiod.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's kind of the whole funny part, is the book series would be like 2 books long if we could have like Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn, and Egwene al'Vir, the Amyrlin seat, popping in back and forth with each other with traveling and being like, yo, what's up on the docket for today? What you got planned?
Yeah.
What do we got to do next?
Work
and
together.
like working together, talking.
Yeah.
But instead...
Same with like, if the Forsaken worked together, they would just crush everybody always.
But you know what? That's the story of the real world too.
Isn't
so there you go.
it just...
Right?
Are you a philosopher?
No.
You should be.
RJ was. Come on. That's what I'm saying.
More than you, yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
All right, so that's what Egwene says out loud, and then Lyanna, who like pops up beside Egwene, is like, "You can't. Don't do it.
Bad idea." And you know, there's reasons not to, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Egwene says that she thinks Morana made some sort of mistake. Otherwise, Rand wouldn't be in Cairhien right now. And Lyanna's like, Morana knows what she's doing. Trust her. Calm down.
You gotta if you put people in charge of a task, you gotta trust them to do that, so.
Yeah, except that
no.
Egwene's gut feeling is right here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Something has gone horribly, horribly wrong.
Yeah, and it's not Morana's fault.
Okay, it's partially.
Nope, but part of that is Morana's fault.
Well...
Oh, the 13 Aes Sedai situation?
Well, that, and then them, like, so when...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, with the whole Aes Sedai stabbing, and then their reaction, where they, like, gave him the silent treatment, and then stormed in, and, like, did the whole...
To be fair, they totally thought that Rand was, like...
Yeah, there was a lot of bad stuff,
them.
but you're a friggin' negotiator.
Yeah, that's your job.
That your job is to negotiate.
The way you negotiate is just to, like...
Storm into the bank where all the hostages are and be like,
hey...
Aes
Sedai, the situation.
Yeah. Bad.
Bad.
She did a bad job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they also have, like, a whole other side discussion, too, about the letter that Alviarin sent to Rand way back when. Mm-hmm. And it's like, oh, does he actually believe that he has a friend in the tower? Because he's kind of mentioned about that before, too. But... Like, Rand doesn't trust it. He didn't trust her before, either, when you thought that maybe he was trusting Alviarin. Yeah. Like, even from the get-go, he's never been like, oh, I'm going to trust them.
Yeah, don't worry. He'll trust nobody.
Oh, nobody, never, ever again.
Ever,
Not
never.
making that mistake twice.
No.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Now, when, you know, his buddy LTT now has his back, and he's like, yo, we're not trusting anybody.
Nobody.
Kill them all.
Kill them all. Kill them all dead.
Let's get them all.
Everybody.
Everybody. Doesn't even matter who you are.
Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. On that note, looks like you need a drink.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. All right, back, ready to go. We have Egwene and Lyanna walking in the dark.
Yeah, which is super safe on the night that a Moghedien escapes.
Uh-huh, and we have Egwene who's taken off her stole and has it folded and she's carrying it.
Yeah,
so she's not, like, immediately recognized.
Exactly.
She thinks to herself, oh, anyone from behind us could just think that we're just too accepted or something.
Yeah. Because she doesn't want to be seen with Lyanna, because that would give away
to... Or two novices.
Yeah.
Not all novices wear novice dresses all the time, because we don't have enough for everybody. So easily we could just be other people.
Good disguise.
Good one.
You know what you could do if you want to disguise yourself?
You could just disguise yourself?
Yeah, use that awesome weave you haven't shared with everybody, and then, like, mask your ability. Like, if we're going to get into it, if you really want to be hidden here... Yeah. There's ways to do that.
She doesn't really want to be hidden. She only sort of wants to be hidden.
Yeah, just a little bit.
Because
hidden.
when they see a pair of women heading towards them, it's pretty clear they're Aes Sedai, and Lyanna goes to, like, duck behind some wagons, and Egwene is, like, exasperated about it.
Yeah. Because at this point, she's like, let them see us. And then, no, let's actually not, so.
Right. So.
They both kind of duck behind the wagons and go a different way.
Right. And then this is where we learn the all-interesting, all-important thing about why exactly Egwene can't just go flitting off.
Yeah. Why did you say it like that? Do you actually find this interesting? Like, I find the Tower Law stuff interesting, but do you? I don't know if that's so with sarcasm.
No, it's not.
Okay, because you're like, oh, look, it's so interesting when we learn about Tower Laws. I'm like, yeah, let's learn about the Tower Laws.
No, I meant it's interesting because it explains why what I'm thinking can't happen.
Okay.
That's why it's interesting.
Okay, I just wasn't sure if that was like dripping with sarcasm.
Why can't she just go? This is why.
There's a law.
There's a law.
Yeah, because you can't.
It limits the power of the Amyrlin seat, which basically says no unnecessary danger ever, ever, ever.
Yes.
Don't even think about it. Don't do it.
Yeah, so we learned that there's like lots of, traditions and customs, but there's only one actual law for the Amyrlin, so just to put it on the record, you're not allowed to be unnecessarily endangered, so unless the White Tower is declared to be at war by the Hall of the Tower, the Amyrlin has to get the lesser consensus before deliberately doing dangerous stuff. Now, I didn't know what the word consensus really meant, so I had to look that up. Because
I was thinking, what's the lesser consensus?
So here's the thing. There isn't really, a definition for lesser consensus, so that seems to be, maybe a Wheel of Time phrase. I'm not super good on the whole politics stuff in real life, but a consensus is a general agreement or position or opinion by a group as a whole.
Yeah, I know what a consensus is.
I did.
But lesser consensus kind of sounds like it needs Well,
here's the thing. So it's not the same thing as a majority vote. Typically, a consensus is defined as 100% agreement. So a lesser consensus might be less than 100%.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, she needs permission to do anything at all, even remotely dangerous.
Exactly.
Because she is the tower embodied.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. And that includes, I guess, going flitting around in Tel'aran'rhiod?
To go,
right?
Possibly. I mean, maybe. But I guess it just depends on what they actually know about. Because Egwene can do that without anybody knowing, but she couldn't go and visit the Dragon Reborn without that coming out.
I think she still could.
That's
true.
Because Lyanna kind of brings it up. She's like, at some point, they're going to find out. Somehow that's going to get out, and when it does come out, that's going to be bad.
Yeah, because I was thinking she should go visit, Nynaeve or Elaine in their dreams and tell them about Moghedien,
and that's very possible.
That kind of thing.
Clearly,
but isn't that also technically dangerous?
I mean, yeah, it is. But again, what do people actually know? Egwene for sure is meeting with Nynaeve and Elaine in the dreams because she knows about their progress.
Yeah, she does. Okay.
So it's whatever.
It's more about what everybody knows she's doing and less about her actually wanting to follow the rules and laws.
100%. But that's literally Egwene to a T.
Yeah. Okay. Got it.
What she can get away with.
Okay. Yeah. And then this point is where Lyanna's like, you can't go in secret. They're going to find out. That would be a disaster.
Yeah.
And so Egwene might just have to let Rand do his own thing for a while.
Quite possibly.
Yeah. Now, I find it interesting that Egwene has this kind of gut feeling that something has gone wrong.
Yeah.
Because in the past, when things have gone wrong for Rand before, and he was in trouble before, Egwene was the one who knew it. She had a dream about Lanfear pulling him into the Portal Stone world.
Okay, yeah, good point.
And she knew that something was wrong.
Yes. Now, it's also really funny, I was going to point out, because when she thinks that, Lyanna says you're going to have to let him do his own thing for a second. Egwene says, well, he may well lead us all to the pit of doom.
Yeah.
And it's kind of funny, because, isn't that the point of this?
Yeah.
Don't we want Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn, to lead us all to the pit of doom?
To beat the Dark One?
That's the point, right? We should kind of start getting on board with what this guy is doing.
Right.
But no, it's we're not going to do anything he wants ever, so.
No, we're actually going to try to control him.
Exactly.
Good idea.
Right?
Did anyone else think of this?
Keep him locked away, maybe, in the tower for a long time until it's time to do that?
Keep
him safe?
I think I have the perfect plot.
Oh, okay.
We'll talk later.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, anyway, so Lyanna's over this. She excuses herself because, quote, there's a man in Lord Bryn's camp. And who ever heard of a green without even one warder?
Yeah, maybe she got a hot date.
A wink, wink, and then she leaves. And Egwene's like, you might have thought she was going off to meet a lover.
Yeah.
Weird.
That's crazy. That could never happen.
And I was like, yeah, Egwene.
That's literally what she's doing.
So innocent. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
She actually thinks she's off to bond a warder. And she's that excited about it.
But that might be part of it.
Yeah, part.
That's the only thing that's happening tonight, though.
Goodness.
All right.
Yeah. So Egwene heads back to the tent, and then she's ambushed.
Ooh. It's so funny, because, this entire chapter...
pair of Silverpike.
There's so many times where it's ooh, she gets kind of jumped by people. like multiple times in this dark, scary chapter right after Moghedien escapes.
Yeah.
And it's just like
She's
Lyanna,
just like
and
wandering
then,
out in the night by herself.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's two people approaching. Oh, Lyanna pops up. Oh,
yeah, and the two people approaching literally amounts to literally nothing.
Yeah, well,
literally,
right?
Literally,
that you think that now you never know.
Was it? No, it was Aes Sedai.
Yeah, we have no idea.
It wasn't anything. It was just like literally other people out for a walk.
Yeah, just people walking around.
Yeah. Okay, so it's Nicola.
Yes.
And what's her name? Ariana. Arena. Sure. Whatever.
Yeah.
Brigida wannabe.
Yes. Who Brigida rejected because Elaine didn't like her.
Right.
And we're not really sure Brigida actually liked her either.
No, but Egwene was like a weird jelly monster. Like, it was a weird situation.
Yeah, it was a little bit.
The whole situation was weird.
Yeah.
So, anyway, technically Nicola is supposed to ask the Mistress of Novices to see if she's allowed to talk to the Amyrlin.
Yeah.
But that would, like, never happen.
Of course not, because she's a novice.
Yeah. So that's why she's here ambushing Egwene.
Good start.
Good start. Okay. So Nicola is like, listen, I want to go as far as I can. I think they're holding me back. I'm sure that I can become stronger than they say. You were never held back. No one ever gained as much strength as you did so quickly. And all I ask is the same chance.
Yes. So again, weird opening.
Yeah, and
weird
so like
opening.
Right away, like I get kind of where she's coming from.
Sure.
But
sort of.
But
yeah.
Egwene, see, I thought she was talking about the like you were forced to learn when you were a captive slave.
Yeah, that's kind of what it sounds like,
and
right?
I was like, whoa, you probably shouldn't bring up somebody's trauma like that.
So it's like, are you asking to be sent to the Shanshan for like a real quick summer camp lesson?
No kidding.
On how to,
blow shit up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happening?
Mm-hmm. But no, not really. That's where my mind went, though, because I was like, whoa.
Yeah, because, I mean, that is kind of how, in a lot of ways, that was one of the ways she was forced.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We also get a recap about who Nicola and this other chick are.
Yes. Yeah. So the interesting part, we kind of get some like extra information here about Nicola. Like Arena, we know that was the one who's like hunter for the horn, copied Brigida. But Nicola has a potential that's only bettered by Nynaeve.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like she could be wickedly powerful. Like that's really crazy powerful. So currently she's an older novice.
Yes.
And she's got the talent, which we've seen for seeing Ta'veren.
Yep.
And then the foretelling talent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which we haven't seen yet, or have we? I don't remember.
I think there was maybe a little bit of hinting, but here it's like, oh, she has the foretelling sometimes, but she doesn't remember anything that's said.
And it's very cryptic. Or
yeah,
something
and
like
it's
that.
not. So it's not the same as like Elida's, where she like knows what she's saying in the moment.
Right.
But
okay.
I just want to point out it's kind of funny because like Arena has clearly found a new person to attach herself to. Because she was stuck to Brigida while Brigida was in camp here. And now that Brigida, like, took off, this is who she's attached herself to now.
All right. And they came on the boat together. Both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
With Merrigan. These were the three that, like, attached to Nynaeve.
Yeah.
And then, okay.
They were all the refugees, so there you go.
So Nicola pleads again for the chance that Egwene had. And Egwene tells her that chance was because she had no choice. And learning that way is called forcing, and it's super dangerous. And we also get that Swan ended up apologizing to her for it because it wasn't good or safe.
So it's just kind of like more aggressive training.
Right.
Force of circumstance to...
Yeah, and obviously right now we're just coming up with a bunch of excuses to like get Nicola out of our way.
Yeah.
I think, because I don't think maybe forcing is dangerous, and obviously I don't think Swan ever did anything to actually endanger Egwene.
No, it just wasn't as slow as literally every White Tower custom makes
exactly.
So,
yes.
Yeah.
And so now we're sort of playing up, this is super dangerous, it shouldn't have been done, whatever.
Yeah, and it's like, okay, go away, Nicola.
Yes. And then Arena
sure
speaks up and is like, hey, listen, we came to Saladar on the same boat as Nynaeve and Elaine and Brigida. And Egwene thinks, oh, Merrigan also came on that boat. Are these women shifty too?
Yeah, and it's like, also, do they know about Merrigan? And now, like, she escaped tonight, so it's like a whole bunch of, like, what the heck?
Yeah, it kind of put a little bit of a nugget in my head.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it should just be on board, because Min's viewing
Sure.
was about all of the women on the boat.
Nothing but trouble.
Nothing but trouble.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
I'm going to keep my eyes on these
You
ones.
should. And Egwene should too.
I got a gut feeling that it's not great.
Okay.
That's my gut here.
So it's like more to come. This
Yes.
isn't done yet.
No.
Okay.
Oh, no. Especially this. Like, I don't... Like, yeah, they run away with their tails between their legs, but I don't think that's quite the end.
Okay, so there's like a plan B.
No. Well, maybe, but...
Like if this was plan A, they clearly thought this would work.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't really care about their dumb plan to learn more.
Okay.
I'm thinking more nefarious than that.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what, but my gut's telling me don't trust it.
Sure.
So here we go. Here we go on that.
So let's get to the blackmail part.
Oh, yeah. What did you say in Gaelic?
Blake?
Mall or something.
Blake Mall.
I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry to anybody who speaks
Nah,
Scottish.
don't do it. Don't do it.
I don't know. It's also like BLATHAICH, so it's like, I don't know.
Whoa.
And like
yeah.
the TH is supposed to be silent, like I tried. I don't know.
No, you did it wrong, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
Terribly
but like,
wrong.
I medium tried.
Thanks.
Okay?
Thanks for trying.
Okay.
So Nicola stares right into Egwene's eyes and is like, oh, by the way, Tom and Julian were talking one time about how Elaine and Nynaeve are not real Aes Sedai. They're pretending, and they'll be in huge trouble if anyone finds out.
Yeah, well, back in the day, they heard that they were pretending to be Aes Sedai.
Yeah.
That's the blackmail
I know they're
part.
Aes Sedai now, but wouldn't they still be in trouble if anybody found out? Doesn't anyone who pretends to be a sister get in a lot of trouble?
Wink, wink, anybody? Right?
And Egwene is just like being silent. And at this point, she is just raging.
Yeah.
And you're not quite sure if she's like, oh shit.
Am I going to get like,
or if she's like about to like murder these two. Like in the middle of the night.
and like hide the bodies.
We're not really sure. So Egwene is silent. And then Ariana thinks that this is going really well for them.
Yeah, because Egwene threw the
then
whole...
she chimes in.
Yeah, well, the speech goes on for a bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's like progressively worse and worse, and the entire time Egwene isn't saying anything, so they think that their plan is working, and Egwene is like frozen in fear because they have dirt on her.
Right.
But that's not what's happening.
Yeah, because she's
so.
like, I hear that you and Nynaeve and Elaine were sent out of the tower on some task that Swan sent you on when she was Amyrlin, and you guys got into all sorts of trouble. Do you remember them playing at Aes Sedai?
Right, and then maybe you were involved in that too, wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, this is not going to go the way you think it's going to go.
No, so Egwene finally responds, and she says, Swan is an Aes Sedai, and so are Nynaeve and Elaine, and you will show them proper respect.
Yeah, and this is the part where she's furious about it. It's like, after everything that's happened tonight, I got Mulgani who escaped, and Sheriam is like being a, giant bee right now.
And no Aes Sedai are even bowing to her.
It's like, come on.
It's a whole
and
thing.
I'm going to get blackmailed by you guys?
I don't freaking think so.
I don't think so.
And so Nicola's like, oh, no, I don't think you understand. I'm just worried that if anyone found out, and then Egwene cuts her off with a, oh, I understand, child.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea how serious it is to bring charges against a sister, especially for a novice? Considering it's based on a conversation between two men that aren't even here right now?
Yeah. So again, like, Egwene's got good points. Like, this is super flimsy.
Oh, yeah.
If this was their entire plan, like, they thought this was going to work on Egwene, like, they don't have any actual, like, evidence that this is a thing that really happened to bring charges for it on. But they, of course, would never want to bring it forward. They just want to have Egwene think that they're going to, or have that. So,
yeah.
Right?
And so Egwene thinks that if she does send Nicola to the Mistress of Novices, this might be serious enough that, like, she never becomes Aes Sedai.
Yeah, she's going to get the boot.
It would be a serious waste of power and talent.
Yep. Because, again, the only person stronger than Nicola, from what we know so far, is who could be, is Nynaeve.
Right. So that's pretty good. That's big.
That's
huge.
That's the second best we've ever met ever.
Okay, I got it.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
All right. But also, if it did come out that, Egwene, Nynaeve, and Elaine all did act as Aes Sedai when they weren't, that could have massive repercussions.
Yeah.
So after Egwene is done, like, going off on them about basically, like, scrubbing dishes forever, I actually don't think it's as strong as it could have been.
Yeah,
I thought this was as flimsy as, I'm gonna kick you so you bounce on your butt.
Twice.
Yeah, bounce twice.
Bounce twice. That's like 2 times harder you have to
bounce
kick.
on your bottom twice. Yeah, it could have, like, I get the ammo she had, and I get that it works and whatever, but the actual word she uses, you're gonna be scrubbing pots forever.
Well, come on, it's like 18-year-old Egwene against, like, mid-20s Nicola.
No, I think it's just the writing style. I think that's just, like, this is a terrible thing. Sure. It's just, like, she could have threatened this whole, you're never gonna become an Aes Sedai. Yeah. Like, how about that? Like, that's a very
I want to kick you out of the Saladar camp here.
Goodbye.
Yeah. Do we call them the Saladar camp? Because you're not in Saladar anymore.
We do. Okay. Rebels. Rebel Force.
You're gone.
Rebel Force.
Chop your head off and send it to Elida.
Yeah. How about that? Oh, wow.
Would you like that?
Nope.
I'll launch it over the wall of the White Tower.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, so Egwene decides to say, I'll forget this now, but if I ever hear so much of a whisper of this again, and then she sends them away.
Yeah, get out of my sight.
And they're sufficiently terrified that their plan backfired badly enough that they scamper off.
Yeah, okay. I have one question for you.
Sure.
Is this a Nicola and Irina plan by themselves, or is this like, someone higher up?
Somebody told them more?
Yeah.
Because how did they know so much about the swan sending them away?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, is there a hand behind this?
Unless Nynaeve and Elaine had shared that,
which is totally possible. They talk in front of all sorts of people about everything. So, but that's the question. Is this like is there someone behind guiding their hand?
Here's
or is this
the
just
thing: we're in an Aes Sedai camp, so it would be naive of me to say there's no one pulling strings here.
Smart. Always be suspicious.
Always be suspicious.
Yes.
That's my motto around here.
That's what it is now.
Yeah. And I'm excited to read on. I did not care for reading only one chapter this time.
No, that was bad. But now you get 2, because we're doing chapters 10 and 11.
Next time.
Yes, and then chapter 12 by itself, because it's a big one.
Yeah, we keep saying that.
In amount of pages.
Okay.
Just so everyone's on the same page.
Yes.
What we're doing.
It's good.
Okay.
Keep the people informed.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
So now, before you go and share some very important and secret information that could really benefit you if nobody else knows about it, I'm going to say that this is part of the pattern now.
Yeah, it's part of the pattern.
Thanks so much for listening, everyone. The Wheel Weaves is hosted by Dani and Brett, edited by Dani, produced by Dani and Brett, with Essen, Passion Socks, Mozyme, Moltude, Benjamin, Michelle O'Brien, Jamie Young, Cody Fouts, Megan Smiley, Jonathan Reese, Vince Lewick, and Margaret, with music by Audionautics. If you are interested in supporting us and the podcast, and also getting some really cool exclusive merch and access to early episodes and bonus episodes, you can check out our Patreon at patreon.com/thewheelweavespodcast. For general information about our show and us, like how to send us shot glasses, how to join our Discord, how to get in touch with us, things like that, for all things The Wheel Weaves, you can go to thewheelweavespodcast.com. Please be sure to give us that 5-star review, because it really does make a huge difference. And tell a friend about us, because referrals really are the best compliment. Thanks again for listening, because this really is part of the pattern now.